Welcome. Guess what tonight is? Project Recipe. It's the first Tuesday of the month, so that's what we are doing. Let's see. This don't want to touch that, but glad you're here. Whether you're watching live or you're watching a replay, we are going to make a 2-page spread tonight. And I am super excited about that. As I usually do, I will be doing pictures from a past retreat, actually February 2020. So right before the craziness of the world. That is retreat number 41 for me is what I will be doing. So I'm very excited. I almost have 2 full albums of retreats, and I started doing this during COVID when I started doing project recipes on Facebook Live. So I've done 41 retreats this way. So very exciting. If this is your first time here, you will want to comment. You'll want to say hello. Let us know if it's your first time here. There will be an in the feed drawing tonight. So the way you get entered is by commenting. So say hey, tell us where you're from. It's fun to see where everybody is watching from. And I will be doing that drawing tonight. So if you've got friends that are normally watching with you, you can tag them in the comments and say, hey, Tara's live. Last week I did card class at noon, so that kind of threw everybody. And I think I said I was going to do this at noon too. And then I thought, I can't do this at noon. I had an appointment today. So anyway, I'll try not to rock the boat too much. Well, hey, Lois, I'm glad that you are tuning in tonight from Venice, Florida. Good to see you on here. I would like to mention that the tickets shut off this past weekend for Brevard and Helen, but that was a mistake. They were supposed to shut off this coming weekend. So if you're still thinking about it, you have till this weekend to sign up. And the reason for that is final payment is due. So if you're still thinking about coming or you were on the fence, well, it's about 5 weeks away. So time to go ahead and jump. We're going to have a great time in Brevard and Helen. You can come for both. I have people going up the weekend for Brevard, staying through Brevard, hopping over to Helen with me, and then headed home at the end of that weekend. So, well, hey, Beth, thanks for joining from Michigan. So we're going to have a great time in North Carolina and Georgia. I promise. I'm so looking forward to that. But not to get ahead of myself, tomorrow morning, I'm packing up the car and headed to my retreat in Lakeland. So there'll be 28 at the Terrace Hotel in historic Lakeland, one of the Memory Maniac's favorite places to go. It's a beautiful spot right on Mirror Lake in historic Lakeland, and it's been completely restored. It's a historic hotel. It's beautiful, but not historic in the way that we love Lakeside Inn in Mount Dora, which doesn't have elevators and and sometimes, the light switches are glitchy. But no, the Terrace Hotel is a Hilton property and it's beautiful. So if you're not coming with us, I'm sorry that you are not. If you are and you're watching, you can go ahead and put that in the chat. Let me know if you are coming. So some are headed over tomorrow when I am, because we start Thursday morning. So I got to head over tomorrow so I can get set up, and then we will hit the ground running on Thursday and we will crop till Sunday. So you can find out all of the details of the Memory Maniacs retreats through the end of the year, actually through January, on my website on DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com if you go by calendar, or you can go straight to memorymaniacs.com and go right to the retreat page. All right, so in case you missed the memo, we raised nearly $6,500 for the Cannonballs for Cane Foundation a couple weeks ago in May. That is amazing. give yourself a round of applause, ladies. You make me want to continue doing this after all these years. Almost 24 years. 24 years in July, I have been doing this. So it's amazing. You guys are amazing. So we will do it again in September. We will be raising money for the Cannonballs for Cane Foundation because it's Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month in September. So we've got some planning to do for that. All right, next Tuesday will be a noontime show, Tool Time with Tara. I will be playing with 2 of the new tools that you see there. That banner punch just came out yesterday. So I realized as I was making these slides that I never published all the new stuff that came out today. So I will do that tonight when I get off here. There's a beautiful new collection, and those little pennant flags are part of it. Next weekend is June 14th to the 18th is the virtual crop. So look for a post from that. I will be giving away some CM credits if you add the hashtag Daytona Area Scrapbooking to your pages that you post of the sketches. And then, so the next 2 Tuesdays will be at noon. Then Techie Tuesday, June 18th, will also be at noon. And then at the end of the month, you know, I had a free Saturday. So I decided, why not? So we're going to have Camp Wanna Scrap a Lot. And so when it says you earn fun badges, they are basically will be little like stations where you can do things. But obviously the first one, you can earn a little badge if you bring a friend. You get the Buddy Camper badge. And then there's an assembly badge if you can put together a Creative Memories album. Fun things like that. The cooking badge will be if you complete a project recipe. So it is inclusive. You'll get all of the stuff that you need to complete the things. Obviously not an album for the assembly. We'll keep putting the same album over and over again. But you're going to get all the things you need for a project recipe. So to make a 2-page spread, a BMC make and take, a border maker cartridge make and take, a mini trio card kit, and lunch. So all that for $20. You can't beat it. It's 10 to 3. Right now, it's going to be at my house in Port Orange. Depending on how registrations go, I may have to move it somewhere that can accommodate more people. But I did similar thing at my spring fling in March, and it seemed like that's for the time where people came. Most people were bugging out by 3, so I decided to keep the time the same. And because it is kind of open house style, you can come and go as you please. I think that'll work. And of course, if you just need to stop by and purchase some things, you can do that too. But if you're going to make things and do all the things, you'll want to register. All right, Scrapapalooza's out there for August. Many of you already signed up for that. I threw out a lot this weekend up onto my calendar, updated my website, finally had a moment to catch my breath, and so did that. That is Friday, August 16th, Saturday, August 17th, and it's at the VFW in Port Orange, and we're going to have a great time. Okay, so I finally was able to talk to somebody on the ship and find out the inventory of tables and the space that I have reserved for over a year. So we are good to go. I opened up some more spots at the cruise. So this is my 15th Memory Maniacs scrapbook cruise. So it'll be my 69th retreat. And so this is not the first time we've done this. And if you want to come with, or if you've been in the past and you want to do it again, reach out. I'll give you the number to call. If there's any deals going on in Creative Memories on Royal Caribbean, they will honor those deals, but you do have to book through the group. So you can't book through a travel agent. You have to book through the group reservations through Royal Caribbean. So just reach out if that's something you are interested in. All right, many thanks. If you have subscribed on YouTube, that is the easiest way to go back and watch older videos if you're catching up. And did I see Miss Kitty pop in here? Hello, Kitty. We miss you. and we hope you're having fun. I saw you're in Myrtle Beach. Look at you. If you haven't said hey and you're new here, oh, me too, Lori. You'll want to comment like our Scrappy friends already have. That is how you get entered to win. Now, it doesn't matter if you normally purchase from another advisor. The CM credits spend the same. And so I just appreciate that you're here so you don't have to shop with me. But go ahead and give a shout in the chat if you are hanging out with us tonight. And we are just about ready to rock and roll. Well, hey, Tracy, thanks for coming, stopping in. All right, we're about to make our project recipe. Now, here's one thing, those of you that are watching, and if you're new here especially, the project recipe I'm about to do is the summer break project recipe. It has a PDF. So the way that you get this PDF is you have to RSVP at DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com. So if you haven't done that yet, you'll want to hop on over to there, leave the video but while I'm switching cameras over, sign up. All you need to do is put in your name and your email address. It doesn't cost anything, but then you're going to get an email with a PDF. Now, if something happens and you don't get that email, then just let me know. Reach out through Facebook or message me through my website, and I will make sure that you get that. You do have to copy and paste the URL. So where it starts at HTTPS, go all the way to the end and then paste it in your browser. And again, if anyone needs any help, just give me a shout. But anyway, let's do it. Let's get cooking on our project recipe. Now, again, for those of you that, if this is your first time or if you haven't watched me do a project recipe before, maybe you've watched other, let's see, because each week I do something different in the month. So we do a project recipe. I do a, oh, I must have bumped my camera. We do a, I do a card class the last Tuesday of the month, going up. And now we need to straighten out here. Sorry, everyone, for the little roller coaster ride. We do, what else do? We do tool time. We play with tools. So we do a couple different things. But tonight's project recipe, so you want to get the PDF if you want to do this. Now, I wouldn't say never ever, maybe rarely is a better word. I rarely use the pages that are shown. So a new project recipe comes out with each collection that's introduced. So this was introduced with the summer break collection. So they've got the new punch that's used along the bottom, but actually I'm using that in tool time next week. So we're not playing with that this week. But I'm going to show you how you can use these project recipes and you can do any paper and any punches. And so I always do a retreat page. And that way, if you've never been on a Memory Maniacs retreat, you get a little glimpse into that. And so I'm going to do Memory Maniacs retreat number 41, which was Volano Beach Retreat. And that registration just opened. Full tables are already sold out. There's only a few spots left. It is a fan favorite. Because I think mainly because we get to dress like pirates. That's what we do on Fridays. All right, so these are the 3 pieces of paper that I'm using. And a little bit about project recipes, how I like to do it. So I like to look at both of these sheets and I see what I'm, easy cut, right? Boom, that's it for one paper. This one and 2 little pieces off the end. I look for the word reverse. So if it says I'm going to use the reverse of that, when I go hunting in my stash for paintings for paper, I need to make sure that I, like both sides of the paper are appropriate, if you will. Then sometimes I look on here and I say, well, where is that even going? Okay, so these little strips on the end that say reverse are going to go right here on the sides of this. So, okay, so I don't necessarily have to love the paper that much. It's just like this tiny little strip. All right, and then this other piece of paper, we're going to punch our border out of here. We do have some extra. That's going to be key for me because I'm having trouble deciding between two punches. And then it says reverse. And so again, I'm going to say, well, where's K and L? And K and L are these thicker strips right here. And on this picture, they're right here. So again, I want to pick a paper that maybe I like both sides. And in this case, I've decided actually to use light blue cardstock. So I'm not even going to do the reverse because I thought, you know what? It does the only place those are going to cross is down here, those two papers. And I don't think it's going to bug me. I also have this little scrap piece of paper up here, that I can play with. So anyway, I try not to go off script too much. It says reverse. I should probably do reverse. But I think I'm gonna let it play out. I'm gonna let it roll here. All right, so I'm gonna use this dark. This was from oh gosh, what's it from? Bold and Slate. And I'm obsessed with the wood. And if you're still coming in, hello, welcome. Glad you're here. And if you're watching later and you're watching the replay, we're glad you're here too, watching. All right, so this is going to be super simple. We need 2 5x12 spots. Now I am just using white as my base. And the white is actually inserts from paper packs. They are photo safe. They're made the same way as our other printed paper, so you can use them. And so sometimes I cut them up, use them for journal boxes, use them for matting. In this case, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do white on here. Oh, this is funny. I knew I was forgetting something. Hold, please. I have forgotten my 12-inch trimmer. Oh my goodness. Sorry. First of all, I always forget something, but I'm going to just blame my poor child who's living in Australia right now because she called like at 6:40 and I did not want to be like, hey, I know you're on the other side of the world in 30 tomorrow where you are, but I am getting ready for Project Recipe. But I knew I was going to forget something important. All right, so we're going to dial this in to the 5 here. And we're going to do that twice for this first piece of paper. See how this has a tiny little piece of darker paper there? I mean, it's just the way the print is. I'm going to flip it around because that little piece I think is going to bug me. All right, so that's it. Designer paper number 1, we have 2 5x12. All right, so that's done. I don't know what that's doing here. We don't need that. All right, now my next piece of paper is going to be this piece. I think I can't even remember what paper pack this was from. That is a problem, but it's not a problem because I don't remember what paper pack it's from, but that is the beauty of Creative Memories papers. They blend together so nicely that I just literally went hunting. I looked at the pictures and I had in my head brown, like browns, woods, blues, like, and so I went to my stash and I was just looking, okay, what do I have in that? All right, now I'm talking while I'm cutting. So I cut 2 5-inch. Yeah, I already did that. Now I cut 2 1/2-inch strips off the end. And then I'm going to flip this per my directions here. So I have a 1/2-inch, a 1/2-inch, and then a 6-inch. So you wouldn't want to make the mistake of doing the 6-inch because then you're going to cut these E and F in half. So you want to cut those first, and then you're going to cut the 1/6 inch. And don't forget to turn your page. And we got to flip out our little guide here and go out to the 6. All right. Now, both of these sides are not too different. They're just kind of, one is like speckly gray, and the other one is brownish. And you'll see when you see the pictures. But like I said, when I was hunting for paper, I went to my stash and I'm like, blue, brown, wood. And then this is what I came up with. All right. I was just about to cut this. We don't want to do that. I want to punch my border first. Okay. So the sample is showing the new like beverage punch. But I'm not going to do the beverage punch. I'm going to put this aside for now, because I'm doing a retreat at the beach, and so I wanted to do something nautical. So I'm going to do these little boats, and if you haven't ever used the Border Maker system, it's amazing. If you don't own it, raise your hand in the chat if you own the Border Maker system and must have all of the Border Maker cartridges. It's a problem, but we are our own support group here, and so no judgment here. We all have to have all the Border Maker cartridges. So the Border Maker system has a little notch on the front that lines up with a notch here on the front of the tool. And it also has little grooves, a small one and a large one, so that you can line it up perfectly. I always check out the punch poop. Nothing super exciting in this punch poop. So we're just going to get rid of it. Now, I'm just going to flip it around. It doesn't say how wide. It says border punch, but the border punch for the drinks falls away, and my border punch is staying attached. So I'm going to have to detach them, and I'm going to do that by tearing, which I often do on ocean pages, just because tearing that cardstock, I don't know, for me, it gives a nice like wave kind of ocean look. Actually, I'm going to cut these two 2 by 12 inch ones first, and the mats, and then I know how much paper I can play with. You know what I'm saying? I can never pick that up. All right, because my recipe is showing that I'm going to have extra, but I don't know how much extra, and that will just show me how wide I can make the tear. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm doing the 2 by 12, and then I need to cut 4 inch. And these are going to be for the mats. And if you are making this project recipe along with me tonight, and you've already printed your project recipe and you are doing it too, I would love for you to post your creations in the comments after. It's always fun to see those. Okay, so before I tear this, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Then I know how much I have to work with. And that also gives the Border Maker a little bit more to grab onto. And in this case, I'm good. I've got enough for it to grab onto. But hopefully you know the trick with, I've done it before with the Post-it notes. If you have a tiny little piece, like say this, that you want to do, but it's not long enough, well, you can extend your paper with Post-it notes. So you can put like 2 or 3 on here, and then that will hold it in. So if you've never done that before, now you know why you were here tonight. just for that little trick. But I have enough paper that I don't need to add Post-it. I can move on up. It's such a quick way to make borders. It's why we love the border maker system. All right, so now this is my 2, and I can either just do it in half, or I can go a little bit thinner than half. Let me look at my sketch. I think I can. I'm gonna go mostly in half here. And I'm going to try to like give it a little rolling wave too. It doesn't need to be perfect. I love the way that torn edge looks. Don't be afraid of tearing. Some people get really wound up about having it be perfect. It's torn. It's not supposed to be perfect. So just let it rip. If you get a wonky piece that you need to fix that really bugs you, you can do that. All right, so those are my 2 little pieces, and that's it. The cutting is done for this project recipe. That's what I love about project recipes. Honestly, they're just so fast. Now, I grabbed this little piece of blue paper just on the off chance that possibly I wanted to add a little rope to the situation. Since this is for the retreat to the beach, and so it's a little nautical, I thought we've got boats, maybe we need ropes. So I'm just going to see, this is kind of a thick rope. It might look weird, but let's see. If ever I use a border maker cartridge that's no longer for sale at Creative Memories, I do carry a decent size inventory. And so sometimes I have things that you can no longer get online. So check with me, especially, if it's something that you see me using. I try not to, make you sad and use things that you can't get anymore. But, well, I kind of, what do you think? Maybe I'll just go half and half on it. I think I have enough. Look, we got plenty of time. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 ropes because I have enough of this blue paper. I was packing for the retreat and had to suspend packing for project recipe. So I'm a little I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Discombobulated here today. And everyone watching is saying, I don't know. He seems to be as discombobulated as ever. Well, hey, Carrie and Pamela too. Pam, your stuff just got here today, so I'm going to ship that out to you tomorrow before I head to Lakeland for the retreat. So I'm glad you hopped on here. All right, now it's time to get this page put together. I'm going to start with the left page, and of course my camera goes so dim as soon as I put something bright white on there. I should never use white cardstock for my project recipe. And then this is going to go here, and this little piece is going to go behind. No. Yes. The little tiny piece goes here. And then this blue piece goes here. Oh, that's why it was going to be the reverse, because now I've got this blue on blue here. Well, we'll see how that works out once I put the picture on there. I think if I move it over so that the blue isn't touching that, like the recipe has it going way over here to the edge, but I think if I back it up over here or even just back it up to where it's touching the black, then I think it'll work. All right, and now down here at the bottom, we've got the blue on blue again. It's a little annoying. That's why I was supposed to pick a reversible piece of paper. But I think that's gonna look cute. What do you guys think? So now let me quick stick these down here. See, I'm working on my mat, which I do love so much. It helps me get things straight. Now, sometimes the project recipe, because most of this white paper is being covered, we'll just use a small piece and kind of miter them together with a little 1/2-inch piece, and that works out really, really well. Now, this is kind of centered. I just wanted to see how much space we needed to leave there. About 1 inch. Oh, good, Carrie. I don't leave home without it. All right, make sure I put the right down on. I like the rip where the core is exposed. I like that. I'm good. Although I'm going to cover over it with this rope. So I guess, but not all of it because it kind of goes up and down. Let me see if there's, I guess it really doesn't matter. It would have been good if you see how the rise and fall of that, if it matched. Darn it. I could chop it here and attach this over here. What do you guys think? Oh, you can't really see, can you? Because of the white paper on there. Really just messing things up. I'm going to use repositionable tape for this rope. This is a prime place to use the repositionable because of all those little holes. It's amazing. Yeah, I really like. I'm gonna cut this off. That's the beauty, is if you have to cut off the end like that, then you can just piece it onto the other end, and really no one is the wiser. Are you the wiser? Would you have known? You really can't. You can't tell. But let me just show you why I did that. I wanted the rope to kind of match the swell of the boats like that. All right. And then we decided that we're just going to do like that. And it is, I'm slightly annoyed that I have the blue on blue, but that was my paper choice that caused that little boo-boo. All right, so now this is I like recipes that are just a mirror image. I'm not gonna lie. It soothes my soul aesthetically. Because I like balance like that. I like symmetrical pages. I'm gonna put this side by side here so I can make sure that I'm lining these up. And there we go. And if you've hopped on and you haven't said hey, say hey in the comments so that you're entered to potentially win some CM credits. I will be giving those away, and you do have to be present to win. Now, how did that happen? Did I put this? Oh, I don't know what I was lining up to, but I knew something was off there. But I didn't notice soon enough. All right. There we go. All better. Well, hi, Vicky. All right. Rolling boats. Check. Okay, so I am going to have to schmiggle that down. I'm just going to backtrack while I'm putting some repositionable tape on this rope and let everyone know that during my announcements, I said that Brevard and Helen retreats are going to close soon. So if that was something you were thinking about, you'll want to sign up by this weekend so I can get my final count into the hotel and get everyone billed for that and get all of the goodies that we need to get. Oh, what on earth did I do? As Debbie likes to say, piddly pop. I forgot 2 whole pieces of paper. What is wrong with me? And I do have a couple people that would be open to a roommate. And also, I have somebody that wouldn't mind to drive, but just would like a companion to drive with. So if you're thinking you would like to go, except you wouldn't want to drive up to North Carolina or Helen, then I might be able to hook you up with someone. So don't be shy if there, if you need a roommate. We're all delightful, lovely people. Aren't we? It's not a not delightful person among us. I can try to hook you up with someone that needs a buddy or a roommate. All right. Now is the moment of truth. Time to lay out these pictures. So this calls for 6. Aw, Lori, we love you. We wish you were coming to Brevard and or Helen, so we could give you a hug. All right, so there's going to be 3 4x6s in theory and another one here. So this 2-page spread would be for 8 photos here. And on your project recipe, it'll tell the sizes. So actually 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. So this one actually has a pretty wide mat, which I don't normally do. I just usually take off 1/4 inch. But what I did for this one to get as many of the pictures from the crop as possible or from the retreat is I printed all these pictures of table mates and whatnot, and I am going to trim them down so that I can fit 6 on the bottom and then 1 on the top. And the way that I decided to lay the page out is we have pictures from inside the conference room, and then we have picture and inside our group picture in the hotel. Those I'm not sure we're going to use. we always have some rum punch at the pirate party, and I dressed as a pirate. I'm not sure those are going to be making it in there. And then we have our outdoor pictures, and it was so cold this February. So I'm going to do 6, so it's going to be 12, 14 pictures. So the first thing I need to do is just trim off a smidge, a 1/4 inch off of each side. So that one. So I'm going to get those on. Not a lot of contrast in that picture between that and the mat, but that's all right. That's the least of our worries right now. All right, and we're going to do the same thing for this one. I can take off 1/4 inch off that one side and 1/4 inch off this side. All right, and then here's that group picture. I'm going to do a little bit more off the top on that. I don't know why. All right, so we've got our two group pictures. I think because not everyone was going out to the bitter cold, so we got everybody on the inside, and then we went outside for those group pictures. Now I'm going to trim these way down, way down. Okay, so I'm going to see how we can do this. So the way I like to cut is I know what I'm shooting for. So I'm shooting for around like 3 3/4 because I need space in between. And so then if I'm putting my hand like right here at 3 3/4, I can kind of center where the picture is. So that's kind of my trick. And now the people are in there. Now it would be like 5 1/2, but we need 2. So we're going to go 2 3/4. So I'm going to try this as a first measurement. So I went 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And let's see how that works. So I'm going to do 2 of them. So again, here's my 3 3/4. Oh, Melissa and Lynn, I'm going to see them this weekend. All right, and I don't want to lose all of Charity there. Okay, so let's see how that is going to work. So we're going to be under here. I'll switch places with that. Oh, can't see, can you? All right, so let's make sure this is going to fit this way. Tis not. We ran out of room there because it's not 12 inches. Silly. I'm so silly. So I'm going to need to go. Well, it says 3 1/4, but I'm going to try 3 1/2. Let's try 3 1/2. And we'll see how that works. Take this off on this side. Not sure if 3 1/2 is going to do it. But since I don't particularly love a wide mat, for some reason one looks smaller than the other. No, it's going to have to be 3 1/4. That's okay. That's okay. Once we get it all figured out, we rocking and rolling. All right. So 3 1/4 it is. Melissa won't mind to lose her shoulder. All right. Well, now it's more than I need. All right. So maybe I can do the middle one, 3 1/2. So let's quick look through here and find the 2 that are most spaced apart. That would definitely be Tracy and Stacy. And Probably Jen. All right, so we're gonna do these ladies at 3.5. Let's just test that before we get too far out in the weeds. Yes. And then 2 3/4. Leave a little bit of the table space. Nobody lost their heads. Perfect. So 3.5, 2 3/4. That'll be perfect. I can fit Tracy and Stacy both in there. And okay. All right, and the rest are 3.25. Couldn't believe, I don't think Jackie's on, but wow, Jackie's hair is long in this picture, and I just chopped my hair. But it's so fun. This wasn't even that long ago. This was 2020, but how different everyone looks. Oh, we're gonna have to go way short on this one. That's all right. We got the faces. And this room has changed so much now. No, 1/4. And don't want to lose anyone's head. All right. Now I can go ahead and stick these down. And we did our, so we were going to do 3 portrait, and instead we have 6 landscape photos. And we'll just pop them in. And then now that we've got all the measurements figured out, we can do the other page super quick. I feel like that tape runner's about to go. That's fun to get so many people on a page. This would be great to do, you know, for a family reunion or something, a birthday party where you have a bunch of pictures. I mean, the other thing you could do is print them as wallets, but then you end up with 2. And if you don't crop them first, then you're not like zoomed right in on the faces. So I definitely look at my project recipes and think about the page. And so obviously I had this plan before I had them printed, so that I had the appropriate pictures. Otherwise, like, well, first of all, I sat down and I said, well, I don't even have, you know, 6 portrait pictures. I would have had to recrop things. So, but now that we've got all that figured out, we will just zoom. I don't want to cut on that page. All right, so let's find the ones that need the most space. They will be our 3.5. And let's see. I love the way Jen's hair is flipping up in this picture. It was so bitterly cold and windy. And I think Susan's husband, I think he took that picture. All right, 3.5. And it's so funny when the Floridians have to get bundled up because, you know, we're a mess when it's, even I grew up in Connecticut. So you know, the cold shouldn't bother me, but every year on that one day of winter that we get, I tell Brendan that I can't ever live north of the Mason-Dixon ever again. I think I've even shared before that It's like the Mason-Dixon and the Mississippi. Like I have to stay in that that's the South where because of the temperature. I'm such a wimp. As much as I don't like being hot, I don't like being cold. And these are our Canadian friends that came down for this retreat. So I'm surprised they weren't in shorts that day. So like I said, once we got those measurements dialed in, then we can just chop away. I've taken some beautiful, beautiful sunrise pictures on Volano Beach. Not this day, but there has never been a day like this during a retreat, since this retreat. All right. Oh, and Karen. And so a lot of these spaces are going to be in Lakeland this week. They're going to be in Lakeland. They're going to be in Lakeland. She's going to be in Lakeland. They're going to be in Lakeland. So that's super fun. That's the best part about retreats. Seeing your scrappy friends. I like them because it's just a little bit slower pace for me. The day crops, I love. We always, get a lot of people there, but I feel like I'm just running around the whole time. I knew I was coming to the end of this tape runner. Come on, tape runner. It's just a few more pictures. I always just feel like I'm running nonstop. So the retreats are a little more chill. I can kind of catch up with everyone too. All right. Okay. So that is the basic gist of it here. Now, I did grab, I probably could circle. You know what? I can, but that means I have to jump up from my seat once again. Just 1 second. Yeah, Kitty, I do. Thank you. I do too. I like that. That I can get a bunch onto this page. Sometimes you just want to really make a statement page and you just want a couple really nice pictures, and sometimes you want to get in as many as you can. And all right. Now let's not act up. So this is the custom cutting system. Probably if you've been around Creative Memories for a minute, this is one of your first purchases. Cannot live without my circle and oval templates. Hang out over there. So I think that'll be fun to kind of add for the page. This was this the first Volano? It wasn't, but this was really funny. So you don't have to have the rum in your punch if you don't want at Volano, but I left this all out in the lobby, and like people that were checking in later, they thought that was like that the hotel did that. So I went in to tell everyone that dinner was out and whatever, and came back, and there's this guy just helping himself to some rum punch. I was like, all right, well, enjoy. Okay. All right. So cute. I'm glad I did that. And now I need to just grab I've got a piece of white scrap paper here, and I'm gonna do the camera punch. Maybe. No, that one's stuck. And I'm going to do an anchor punch. And I'll have to come back, obviously, and add my title, my date, my journal box. I'm going to go ahead and add this. And now I changed my mind. I want to add a little, I'm going to do this camera in blue. Means I have to punch another one. That is one punch where you really have to go down hard on that. And I just want a little bit of a journal box here. I have never-ending amounts of white cardstock, as I'm sure you do, too. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little ripped edge. Why not? Like that. Oh, I knew it was coming to the end. Now I can add this little blue camera there. I have some tropical embellishments out here, but it was so not tropical because it was so windy that I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm just going to add my title on there later and call it a day. I can add this little heart. Because that's some good punch poop. Here, I got a white one too. I could put that by the little. Perfect. Yeah, that's right. Don't waste punch poop. All right, let's take a look. 14 pictures. I don't know what mode this is on. All right, that's it. And the clock is striking 8. All right, well, if you haven't said hello, this is your last chance to say hi in the comments so that you are entered to potentially win some CM credits. I will be doing that drawing in just a couple seconds. So you will want to make sure you've said hello. I'm going to check over here. You do have to be present to win. What else? Oh, yeah. That would be great. Lois, like especially if you're doing sightseeing, because when you have a bunch of pictures of streets and flowers, if you're taking pictures of gardens or different things, um, that would be a great layout. So when you see the project recipes, try to think outside the box. Like I said, when I looked at these 6, I thought, well, I can just split them all in half. And I do that a lot when I do that's really funny because you can't see when I was showing anymore. But yeah, like cutting these in half. I forgot that camera isn't on anymore. But if you watch my Techie Tuesdays in Artist, where I design pages in Artisan, I do that a lot in Artisan. I think that's why my brain kind of went that route tonight. All right, let's see who our lucky winner is. Hopefully they're still with us. Kathleen, you are a past winner. Are you still on, Kathleen? Paging Kathleen. I know that sometimes there's a delay, so I won't quick do another one. Oh, Lois, that's what we're doing in Lakeland. We're doing 2 mural walks in Lakeland. Kathleen, paging Kathleen. Are you still with us, Kathleen? Going once. Going twice. Oh, yay, she's here. Yay. Oh, I hate having to draw again. That hurts my heart. Well, congratulations, Kathleen. I know how to send those to you, so I will do that. And thanks, everyone, for hanging out tonight on Project Recipe. Don't forget to go on. I think you still have time if you want to hop on to DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com. That's okay, Kathleen. The universe decides these things, or the random name generator or whatever, but I don't question them. So hop on over to Daytona Area Scrapbooking if you haven't already, so that you can get this PDF. Just RSVP for tonight, even though it's already we're already done. That way you can get that PDF. All right. Well, I am out for now, and some of you I will see you in Lakeland tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, and looking forward to it. And until I see you again, you all know what to do. Stay scrappy, my friends. Bye-bye.